Good morning. Welcome back to the show. It is Monday, February 12th. We got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, the Chiefs, the 49ers, the reaction to the game, what happened, and we got a new setup here as we do our new system with the hit list is gone, and now we're bringing up all the graphic and conversation, and we're going to dive right into it. Let's talk about this. Was Mahomes rattled against the 49ers? I mean, he came into the game, and it was like, who's going to win? 49ers, Chiefs, the big day, the big Super Bowl out in Las Vegas, and people were ready to go. Was Patrick Mahomes rattled? Now, here's the thing. We haven't seen this side of Patrick Mahomes ever in the history. Running around, scrambling, trying to make plays, being hit. You know, it was almost like he was like, whoa, the 49ers are a lot better than I thought. And if I'm Patrick Mahomes running around scrambling for dear life, it's like, whoa, obviously Nick Bosa, right? Chase Young on the other side, who people ridiculed. He wasn't going to play that good. He's going to be benched. He played. He started. And it was like, what was going on with Patrick Mahomes? And I got to tell you something. Guys, welcome to the chat. Good morning to all of you coming in right now. I'm checking it out right now as we pull it up. Good morning. Obviously, Howard. Tom, good morning. Candy, good morning. Brenda, good morning. Brittany, good morning. So glad to have everybody in here. And I'm going to write good morning as well so I can get people to get started as we come into the live. And I appreciate everybody who has joined the Mason Mob. Thank you. You will have a verification symbol next to your name. And as you go through a month, you will have a money symbol, which is pretty cool. But we're going to continue down the path of talking about Patrick Mahomes. Was he rattled? At the end of the day, it was like he showed up for the Super Bowl. He knew the 49ers were going to be good. But it was like, were they that good? Did he think they were that talented on the defensive side of things? And it was like they couldn't get first downs. They couldn't move the ball. And people were like, whoa, this is quote unquote the best quarterback in football. Even though Lamar Jackson, obviously people are like the MVP. But if you watch Patrick Mahomes, he just gets better and just keeps continuing to get better. And people are like, you know, he's not going to win. You know, they're not going to beat the 49ers. I got to tell you, I picked the Chiefs to win. If you go back and watch the clip, I thought at the end of the game, I said, look, as you watch Brock Purdy playing in the Super Bowl, he's going to show up and he's going to make mistakes at the end of the game because he's not a rookie, but it's his second season with the 49ers and he's in the Super Bowl. People are like, whoa, and you look who's around him. Players like Christian McCaffrey, players like Deebo Samuel, who played great, even with injuries, played great. You keep looking around, there's more players at the receiver positions than you have George Kittle at the tight end position, running into the locker room, getting checked, getting x-rayed, coming back on the field. I mean, this was a real Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes had to rise up yet again to another level. And it's like, what can this guy do? What can't this guy do? And yes, he was rattled early on. In the first half, he was rattled. Didn't have a lot of receivers to throw to. Didn't have a lot of weapons to go to. And as I watch him, it's like, this is the kind of look you were seeing all night. Scrambling, getting outside the pocket. Hard for him to make plays because he didn't have the weapons. I mean, you got to understand something. He's throwing to receivers that you don't even realize who they are, right? Targets he's throwing to, people are like, who is that guy? And even though he was there all season, a lot of them were there all season, you're like, that guy isn't a superstar. That guy's not a superstar, kind of like what Tom Brady did. And we'll get to that later in the segment. He did a lot of Tom Brady-like things. And we're going to get to that comparison again of the next level where he's gone. But he makes plays out of nothing. Patrick Mahomes finds ways to win football games. Everybody watching that game was like, in the first half, wow, the 49ers might have it in the bag. The second half, third quarter, Chiefs, they score, but the 49ers still got it in the bag. And then you come down with a minute and a half left in the game, and you're like, Patrick Mahomes is a superstar for a reason. For a reason. If you're watching this right now, welcome you guys into the chat. Thank you for coming in. And again, good morning to you. It's your first time watching. I got this computer here for you. And listen, I got these glasses here. And listen, I got to tell you, they're just not working. And as I look go over here. I just want to thank all of you for coming in and communicating with me. And you can call at any time. The number's at the bottom of the screen. You can call at any time if you want to BS or talk with me. But continue on the conversation is just like this. I'm so excited for both of the futures of these quarterbacks. You know, I loved what Patrick Mahomes did. I love what Brock Purdy did, and Brock Purdy played enough. He played so well in this game, and I have the stats in front of me. Patrick Mahomes, 34-46, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Okay? Brock Purdy, 23-38, 255 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Watching Patrick Mahomes be rattled driving down the field for the game-winning drive, people are like, is this the best quarterback we've ever seen in football? Is this the best quarterback we've ever seen in football? Like, that's the conversation. He's rattled, but he continues to make plays. And people are like, well, I'm watching this guy. He's getting hit. His same look on his face. But he's not Jalen Hurts. He's not same look, down, and just kind of like, I have a lot going on, emotion. No, it's not that. He's got that look. He wins. He celebrates. He throws a pick. He's down himself. He fights back. He throws a touchdown pass. He's celebrating. He's got the emotions out there to lead his team. And then he got on his receiver a couple times too. He's like, let's go. Keep your head in the game. And Rice was wide open in the end zone for the game-winning drive. Before that, could have threw a touchdown pass. He missed him. He went to Travis Kelce in the corner of the end zone. It didn't work out, looking for a flag over there. But the moral of the conversation is this. Was Patrick Mahomes rattled? Yes. Was he too rattled? No. He drove down at the end. He ran the play action, ran for first downs, right? Play action, runs for first downs. Play action, hits a guy. Andy Reid, who we're going to get to as well, one of the best coaches in football, is in his corner. So rattled or not, this is 100% the best quarterback in football right now. And we're going to get to it at the end of the show today versus Tom Brady and where he's gone. So let's move on to Brock Purdy. Did he live up to the expectations? Did Brock Purdy live up to the hype of conversation? Mr. Irrelevant, was he as good as advertised? Listen, Brock Purdy was so damn good in this game, and I read the stats to you, just 23 of 38, 255, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. But he was so damn good in this football game. Everybody watching football right now who watched all season, who watched the 49ers all season, who watched the postseason in the playoffs, who watched the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, no one can say that Brock Purdy is not the real deal. And I said, he's good. They shouldn't be comparing him to Patrick Mahomes and comparing him to other people like Joe Montana, who was at the game, or current players right now who are playing, or, was he a game manager? I got to tell you something. Brock Purdy is as good as advertised. He's better than advertised. And coming from Mr. Irrelevant, if you guys are watching this the first time, don't know what that means. Mr. Irrelevant means you're the last pick in the NFL draft, 7th round, last pick, Mr. Irrelevant, okay? Patrick Mahomes is riding around, he's gotten well-deserved. He's got millions and millions of dollars in, obviously, career money, but also in real estate. Brock Purdy is making like $1 million a year. He's roommating right now with his buddy out in San Francisco. So he's got a roommate. So we're talking a guy in the NFL in the Super Bowl in his second season, first season starting from day one, first season starting from week 1, okay? Because last year he was behind, as he started, he was behind Trey Lance, and he was behind Jimmy G, and now he starts this season, he's in the Super Bowl. The 49ers have found their guy. They found a guy they better get ready to pay big time money. And I got to tell you, including myself, was like, oh, Brock Purdy, he's good when he's good. And then when he's off, he's horrific. But that's not true. Every quarterback is good when they're good and off when they're off. But Brock Purdy showed yesterday against the best team in the National Football League. The Chiefs have proven that. And I got to tell you, if they played again, could be a different matchup, but Patrick Mahomes is still going to do his thing. He's still going to do his thing. So the biggest question is Brock Purdy as good as advertised? Did he play up to the expectation level? The answer is yes. I have never seen, outside of people like Patrick Mahomes, show up in a second season and lead a team like this. And a lot has to do, his success on the field, completions, getting outside the pocket, running for first downs at times, hitting targets across the middle, throwing screen passes, throwing the deep ball down the middle. The threat wasn't scared to let it sling 15, 20 yards, 30 yards. He made impact plays that quarterbacks 5, 10 years in the game don't do. So if you want to compare him to people like Dak Prescott, you know what? I think you could start that conversation. I think you can honestly start the conversation of comparing him to people like Dak Prescott. Why? Because Dak Prescott wins regular season games, not that good in the playoffs. Brock Purdy seems to be pretty good in the playoffs. Compare him to all those other elite quarterbacks like a Russell Wilson, in that category currently. Now, we're not going to go toward Patrick Mahomes, not going to go toward players, obviously like Tom Brady, nowhere near there, but he's definitely in that other tier. That conversation should be started because Brock Purdy played phenomenal. But let's move on to Christian McCaffrey. Now, is Christian McCaffrey the best running back we've seen up to date? Now, this is a good conversation because a lot of people in their minds, you have, well, I like Barry Sanders, well, I like Walter Payton, well, I like Emmitt Smith, you have all these conversations. How does Christian McCaffrey, fare up against those guys? How do you compare Christian McCaffrey to those elite running backs, the guys you've seen a long time ago, all through these years? And, the truth of the matter is, Christian McCaffrey is so damn good. He's built like a running back. I played running back my whole life. I'm 6'3", 240. Right now, maybe pushing 245, maybe heavier, because I'm not working out like I should be. Got to get back in there and hit the weights. But at the end of the day, Christian McCaffrey is that perfect height for running back, the perfect build, the stockiness, the speed, breaking tackles, making plays. There's nothing better at the running back position right now to watch than Christian McCaffrey. He played lights out. He played the game like every running back should play the game. They just fell a little short. And the hard part is you're watching him. He is, dead tired. Breaking tackles, running, catching screen passes from another receiver, running down the sideline for a touchdown, sprinting through, busting through, whether it's arm tackles, leg tackles, ankle tackles. The guy played lights out. You can't ask for a better running back. Getting hit in the backfield, bouncing back up, taking some hard hits too from linebackers across the middle too. Catching passes out of the backfield, a scat back. People are like, oh, Christian McCaffrey's a scat back. Little passes, little screens. That's not the truth. Christian McCaffrey is a durable running back, an every down back that's very hard to replace. Now, flip side to that, Pacheco for the Chiefs. He just could not break away. The 49ers defense played incredible. They played lights out. This man, Pacheco, a little different than McCaffrey. And here's why. Pacheco's got speed. He fought, this man played tough. He got hit harder than a lot of running backs do. And he took a lot of the impact. Christian McCaffrey, on the other hand, is given the impact most of the time. This guy, Pacheco, I got to tell you, he didn't do what a lot of people thought he should do, make those impact plays down the sidelines, running for 25 yards, 35 yards like McCaffrey was kind of busting through. But this man played good enough. Now, he wasn't tough enough to get certain first downs. He didn't break certain tackles. He didn't push for that extra 3, 4, 5 yards busting through like McCaffrey, but he didn't quit. And we can't forget his quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, which is why it turned up for him. He was catching passes too, like McCaffrey. More of a scat back, right? If you were to say in the term of only that, because Christian McCaffrey does it too. Pacheco did both. I'm not comparing them as saying they're equal. I'm comparing them in the stat sheet and what they did. And if we look again at Christian McCaffrey and what he actually did in the game, I have his stats right here. Christian McCaffrey, 22 rushing attempts for 80 yards, 0 rushing touchdowns, but he caught a pass from his receiver and ran one in. But I will tell you, watching these two players and watching Pacheco, it was like watching two of the running backs that are not going to quit. If you're watching this right now, I don't know who you picked. You can be honest in the chat. Who did you pick to win the Super Bowl? Don't lie. If you pick the Chiefs, put the Chiefs. You put the 49ers, put the 49ers. I want to know what you guys actually thought before the game, if something has changed now on your opinion, if they played again, because it was absolutely incredible game to watch. So now, guys, we're going to move forward to a conversation here with Travis Kelce and Andy Reid. Will Travis Kelce and Andy Reid retire after this season? I'm going to go into that right now because Travis Kelce played great, but the first half, not so much, right? The first half, Travis Kelce had one catch for 1 yard. He literally had one catch for 1 yard. So here's the thing. You go into the second half, you go, the Chiefs better do something. They better do something because Travis Kelce, for the Chiefs to win the game in the Super Bowl, even in the playoffs, Travis Kelce has to show up. Now he shows up blocking, right? Blocking, catching passes every week. A little bit of a roller coaster ride. We talked about that with the Chiefs. They hit a little bump in the road and they had no identity. And I got to tell you, this game, they had no identity at the receiver position. Again, they won without a receiver identity. That's how good Patrick Mahomes is. That's how good Patrick Mahomes is. And when I look at this right now, Travis Kelce, first half, obviously 1 catch, 1 yard. But the second half, 9 catches. Well, this is total. 9 catches, 93 yards, no touchdowns. We went from 1 yard to a total of 93 yards, caught 8 more passes, and at the end of the game was phenomenal. Catching passes, running down the sideline. Instead of running clear out of bounds, ran a guy over, went out of bounds, set them up just, under the 10-yard line, right around there for the game-winning drive. Obviously, they went, they were in overtime and all that. It's like, look, Travis Kelce is one of those players. He doesn't give up. He doesn't quit. Was Taylor Swift a distraction this season? Maybe a little bit. But on the field, it's turned the game on. It's not, I'm thinking about Taylor Swift on the field. It's game time. My mouthpiece is in. I'm ready to ball. So, yeah, Taylor Swift could have been a little bit of a distraction here and there because they showed her on TV and people were talking about Taylor Swift. But at the end of the day, Taylor Swift brought butts in seats. She brought more to the NFL. She brought more to the Kansas City Chiefs. And it didn't hurt them, apparently. They won a Super Bowl, and there's all these critics. Critics are going to say, oh, it's fixed. I got news for you. People gamble. Vegas does certain things. I'm sure there is conversation. I'm sure people have said things like, hey, if you fumble the ball, man, we'll give you $1 million. I'm betting $5 million on the game here. You fumble the ball, you get $5 million. Any running back that doesn't play that much, or any receiver that gets in and barely plays, and he makes, $700,000-800,000 a year, maybe he's making rookie minimum, maybe he's not making that much money, or he's on his way out. If you fumble the ball and give the team the other ball, give the ball to the other team, guess what? You're going to help the change of the game, right? People are like, oh, this is scripted fumbles. Pacheco fumbled the ball. Christian McCaffrey fumbled the ball. This game was so dynamic in so many ways, and people would tell you, oh, it's scripted. The NFL is a problem. It's not. It's not scripted. It's not rigged. It's not, not coming from the NFL. It's not the NFL rigging the damn game every week. We're going to decide the Chiefs are going to win. No. You think they decided every year that Tom Brady was going to win? Or every year, Peyton Manning's going to win now every year? Or, now we're going to give it to this guy? That's not what happens. Patrick Mahomes was up against the wall. His dad was just arrested as well, and he's still making plays, still making impact, and Travis Kelce did his thing. Now, will he retire? I don't know if Travis Kelce's ready to retire because he's a winner. His brother might not even be ready to retire. If you're watching this right now in the chat, will Travis Kelce retire? Will Andy Reid retire? Put it in there, yes or no. I want to see what you guys think. The man is that good, that talented, and I don't think he's ready to retire. He's mentioned it. He can ride into the sunset, with his wife, obviously. Or, sorry, girlfriend. I'm going to say that. Girlfriend, Taylor Swift. Soon-to-be wife, probably. Who knows? I don't think so. But pull it up for us, Howard. The best coach at this point has to be the best coach of all time. If you don't think this guy's the best coach of all time, I'm not too sure that people could say any different. Watching Andy Reid on the sideline call plays, and I got a clip for you to see. Travis Kelce obviously jumping all over him during a play. Boom, grips him up, He's like, come on, don't keep me in the game, keep me in the game, keep me in the game, coach, keep me in the game. It's like, thank you for CBS letting us use this clip. It's like, keep me in the game, don't take me out. That was the play that Pacheco fumbled the ball. And look, this isn't made up fairy tale stuff. This is Travis Kelce getting heated, getting super heated. And so I'm not, I hate to say that and advocate, for that, but it's like Andy Reid is probably arguably the best coach of all time. Coaching for the Eagles was good. And now it's next level. And people are like, well, this is why, if I take a look at Patrick Mahomes is only good because, he's got Andy Reid. But here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes, he gets rattled. We talked about that. And he gets on the field and he starts directing traffic. You see right here. Hey, you over here. He's calling out play. Defense, he's calling out shifts. He's telling them it's cover one. And if you guys are watching right now, I call some defensive schemes here. If you're not so dialed in, bear with me if you are, or you might learn a little bit today. So he's calling out defensive schemes, saying, the safeties are rolling up, cover one, cover two. Oh, they're in cover three. He's calling out different plays. He's letting them know, check. He's changing the runs from the opposite side, switching it over. Let's not run it here. Let's run it here. The offense is making changes, and this is a coach on the field. And this isn't Aaron Rodgers. This isn't a dramatic thing. And people are like, well, you said Aaron Rodgers is a coach on the field. That's a problem. Yeah, it is a problem because they're running certain things through him as if he's a GM. This relationship, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, is coach to player. Coach to quarterback. Not coach to coach. Not coach to GM. Coach to quarterback. And at times, it gets interesting. You see Travis Kelce jumping all over him, getting frustrated with Andy Reid, getting pissed off. Like, come on, keep me in the game. Keep me in the game. This isn't something that's made up. This is high energy. They all want to win. He's keeping me in the game. I want to win this shit. This is nothing but, this is a lot of competition. He's very competitive, and they want to win the game. And Andy Reid, there's no better coach in the National Football League right now than Andy Reid. Will he retire? Hopefully not. And Patrick Mahomes said very clearly, we're not done. When they went to him and said, how do you feel right now? He said, it feels good. He said, we're not done and we got a young team. You know how good that feels for the organization? You know how good that feels for the fans that are watching this game right now and all the fan base that are like the Kansas City Chiefs and they're out there, I was teaching my son yesterday what that means. And you're watching, you're like, Patrick Mahomes is here to stay for a long time. And he needs Travis Kelce, his right-hand man, to come back. Taylor Swift had more fun this year than ever because she's a star. Not going to take singing away from her. She's run that. She's a billionaire. But now she's even more next level. She's brought her fans to football, but now football fans know more about her. Some hate it. Some love it. Some loved having her out there. Some hated it. But at the end of the day, the Kansas City Chiefs are for real. They're a big-time organization. They're a great team to watch. And to watch these two players, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, will they retire? The only person that's leaning to retire right now, I think, would probably be Andy Reid. But I think if Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, an organization that got a young running back with Pacheco, they're gonna get a receiver this offseason. They're going to get a star receiver. Think about that. If they get a star receiver on the team, it's lights out again. It's lights out again. And they play with injuries. They had an offensive guard not even playing in the game. It's very, very difficult to watch these guys leave the game. I think they'll be back next season. But let's move on to another part. Has Patrick Mahomes moved closer to Tom Brady? A lot of people are like, well, I wouldn't make this comparison. And before the game, a couple weeks ago, right, I'd say, look, Patrick Mahomes is still the kid on the field, and the GOAT, no longer in the game, is still the GOAT. But it's like this. What makes them different? When I watch Patrick Mahomes and I watch Tom Brady, what's different about them and what's the same? What's similar? Why do people call Mahomes the new GOAT? Well, here's the thing. Here's the explanation for you. And to answer what you see at the bottom of the screen, Patrick Mahomes has moved closer to Tom Brady. There's no doubt about it. With a loss in this game, people would have started knocking a little bit, I don't know. But now that he's won another Super Bowl, and catching closer to Tom Brady, you start to compare the two. What is the difference and what is the same? Well, the same is leadership. The same is running down game-winning drives. The same is when people are watching and you got a minute on the board left to play, the clock is ticking. It's not just your fan base that goes, oh shit, Patrick Mahomes could win this game. It's everybody. Everybody watching the Super Bowl is like, Patrick Mahomes has a minute to go. He can still win this game. There's not many quarterbacks in the National Football League, in the history of the National Football League, that are driving down with a minute. You're like, oh, he's got this in the bag. There's not many people to do that. And then to score a touchdown, very hard. And it's like, that's where the comparison is the same. Tom Brady with a minute on the clock, you gave him too much time. Patrick Mahomes with a minute on the clock, you gave him way too much time, right? But here's the thing. Where are they different? Where are these two players different? Here's how they're different. Patrick Mahomes is unique because he's athletic. His athleticism carries him way further than Tom Brady over the course of time. So really the comparison is Patrick Mahomes better currently than Tom Brady was in his career? Yes. If you go where Patrick Mahomes is right now, where Tom Brady was right now in this current time, Patrick Mahomes is better. He's better. I can tell you that right now. He's better currently in the same position if Tom Brady was in the season that he's in. But if you look at the all-time greatest, Tom Brady is still the GOAT, but Patrick Mahomes is sneaking closer. He's sneaking closer, and we're not talking just career stats. I'm not talking stats because you pull those up, you're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of passing yards ahead of Patrick Mahomes. That's obvious because he played for 100 years. Tom Brady just retired. Tom Brady's 46. Patrick Mahomes in his 20s. Imagine if Patrick Mahomes plays for 15 more years, 10 more years, well, shit, 5 more years. If Patrick Mahomes plays for 5 more seasons, and if he wins another Super Bowl next year, people are going to be talking immediately, this is the best quarterback we've ever seen. People are already doing that. People on big networks. People, I believe Colin Cowherd even said, this is the best quarterback of all time in Patrick Mahomes. But my opinion, if you're watching this right now, who do you think is better? Do you think that Patrick Mahomes has surpassed Tom Brady? Or do you think Tom Brady is still the best quarterback to ever play? And as I'm watching, and I'm not taking anything away from Tom Brady because Tom Brady was phenomenal, and to me, he's still the best quarterback of all time. But has Patrick Mahomes moved closer? The answer is yes, again, a lot closer. With that game-winning drive in overtime, going down, and you need a field goal to tie, a touchdown to win, Patrick Mahomes has put another stamp on his career and is getting closer and closer to Tom Brady's legacy. Guys, if you're watching this for the first time, I appreciate you. Please hit the like button and subscribe. We'll bring up all the topics every single day. We have a hit list all the time. We have a hit list all the time on the corner of the screen, but today we are doing the reaction to the Chiefs and the 49ers. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I'm giving away a PlayStation and Xbox. I believe will be announced tomorrow or Wednesday. All you got to do to get in that giveaway is go right to the beginning of the tab here and click on the community. Go to my YouTube channel, hit the community tab, and you'll see the last post up there. To win, you had to pick your team. You can comment below, and you can see, just hit the like button and comment on the game, and you have a chance to win a PlayStation or an Xbox. I appreciate all you guys for sticking tuned today and watching this network as we expand. It's been great to have you on here today. We didn't have our hit list. We had a live reaction, which we will do with our lower thirds popping up so you guys can communicate with me. And remember, every single day, you can also call in. We'll have it up there along. We'll have the phones ringing here this week and some interviews coming as well. I hope all of you have an amazing, amazing Monday. And remember, it's Monday. Go hard, go strong, and don't look at all the negativity and all the stuff behind you. Move forward. The Super Bowl is over. The season's over. We have a lot to talk about with all sports entertainment. Tune in with me every single day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk to you guys soon. Until next time.